Okay, so for 0 to 2 for T, a bug, so we've been talking about a particle, but this time we're thinking about it as a bug, like a little something, right? There's actually a particle or a bug or whatever. It could be you. You could name him Fred or something. Is moving along the x-axis, so that means we're going left and right. And then there's no space there where there should be, which with a velocity of blah, blah, blah. And so it gives us the graph, but we're also going to graph it. So let's go ahead and that's what it should look like when we're done. So one nice thing about this is after we graph it in our calculator, this is probably what we need to look at, so we can go ahead and change our window to match this as well. Kind of gives you a little hint. Yes? Oh my gosh. So we are going to go to our calculator, and we are going to create a new. So I'm going to go here. I want new. I want to add a calculator, and then I also want to add graphs. Right? If you get lost on the calculator, say something before you get 10 steps behind. I don't mind waiting or restating unless you've waited 10 steps. Then I get irritated. All right, so in F1, we are going to put in the equation, except remember we can't use t's, we have to use x's. So we're going to use x, what? Okay. Okay, hit the home button. It looks like you're stuck in your shirt too, aren't you? Okay. So 1 for new, and then no, you don't want to save. And then 1 for calculator, and then control doc to add another one. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Are you all good now? Okay. All right. Are we all good now? Thank you for stopping. Okay. So x squared times the sine. Where do you find sine? Trig. Trig. There's a trig button next to 7 times the sine of t cubed. No, which is really x to the third. Make sure you arrow over after x to the third so that you're not still up in the exponent. Minus 1.5 x. This bug is crazy. This, and remember that the AP test is timed, so you can't take an hour to type everything in every time. Just saying. You'll get better with practice. Okay, so we hit enter. Whew, this bug is crazy, right? Is that what yours looks like? Okay, so do you see now why maybe they gave us the graph even though they're going to ask us questions? Exactly. So let's change our window. Yes? It was taking a time? It was taking a minute, yeah. Yeah, your calculator might take a little bit longer to graph it. All right, so let's fix this, right? So we're going to hit menu. What do we want from this? Window zoom, that's 4. Now, I don't want to zoom in or out. Like I think I know what I want. So we're going to go to window settings, which is 1. The X minimum, I'm not sure what that's at, but we could do like 0.5. I think it's fine. 0.5 for the minimum, and they go to 2.5-ish, so we'll do that. The scale, we can make it auto if we want. They did it by 0.5. It really doesn't matter at this point because we're not going to just pull the number off like that. Then Y looks like we go from -4 to 3. Everybody with me? And I'm just pulling that right off the paper from the little graph that they gave us. Just getting it close to that. That way we don't have that nutty looking thing that we're looking at. Hit enter. And then we have more. They're actually, because they're only showing from 0 to 2. So we could have stopped at 2 from our actual domain. I was going off the picture. But let's go ahead and fix that then. Menu, 4 for window zoom, 1 for window settings. Instead of 2.5 for X, I'm going to go to 2 because that's my actual domain that they gave me, and then I'm not looking at as much. Okay. Right, because I put in 2.5 first because that's what the picture looked like there. but I went back and changed it to 2, just because that's the domain that they gave us. They're just able to control what you can see better than I can on here. All right, we good? Everybody have something that looks like this? Okay. Now, let's look at this first question. It says find A of 0.7. What is A? What does A represent? Acceleration. What did we just graph? Velocity. If you have the velocity and you want the acceleration, how do you find it? You take the derivative. So do we want to take the derivative by hand? Of course not. Are we capable? Like, we could totally do this one by hand, right? But it's a calculator question, so why would we do that, right? So what's the easiest way for me to get the derivative of this? Do I do it in the calculator screen or in the graph screen? The graph screen, right? I don't necessarily need the graph, but that's the easiest way to do it. So I need to add a y2. How do I get to that? Tab. Tab. So now what I want is the derivative of f1, right? Where do I find the derivatives? By 9. This is a weird looking thing next to the book, right? Do this. Find the derivative key. If it's the, I don't know about you, but on here, since it's the last thing I did, it's highlighted. Is y'all's automatically highlighted too? Okay, good. That's good. Makes it a little easier to find. So I'm going to find the derivative. I know it says t's, but we have to use x. So x. And then what am I taking the derivative of? f1. And I can just type in f1 of x and close my parentheses. Okay? Everybody good with that? Then I'm going to hit enter. So now that's the red one, right? Which again, I don't know. Right now, I'm not really concerned what the graph looks like. I just need it in there. So if I'm going to go back to A, and I want to find the acceleration at 0.7, so when time is 0.7, do I do that from the graph? No, I do that from here, right? And I want A of 0.7. I'm going to write that down first. So A of 0.7 equals, and so how do I do that here? F2 of what? 0.7. And there's my answer. Okay? So we didn't have to do anything by hand. We just have, but you have to know how to manipulate the calculator. That's kind of the purpose of that. So this is equal to negative 0.9205. All right. So speeding up or slowing down, different than velocity increasing and decreasing, right? If you have positive acceleration, you are pushing on the gas. If you have negative acceleration, you are pushing on the brake, right? So if this is negative, am I speeding up or slowing down? Slowing down. Okay, so I can say at t equals 0.7, the bug is slowing down because A of 0.7 is less than 0. Or you can say is negative. You can write the words is negative, or you can say it's less than 0, whatever. If you're afraid you're going to get your little alligator mouth on the wrong way, put is negative. It's fine too. I'll probably do it both ways just so you can see it can be either way, no matter. Right? What questions you got? All right. So then we move on to B. Find any values of t on the interval from 1 to 2. Okay? 1 to 2, so not the whole thing, just from 1 to 2. When the bug is at rest. If it is at rest, what is true? Velocity is at 0. So this is when v of t equals 0. We can see on here, okay, I mean, obviously we can't get our answer from the paper, but on here, how many times between 1 and 2 is it at rest? Twice. It's right here and right here. Yes? And then we just need to go find those. Okay? So that means I'm going to go back here. I need to look at my graph. Now, I only need which one right now? The blue one. So if you want, I mean, you have options. You could leave them both on there, but I think I want to turn the red one off. So if I want to get back up here, I can go, I don't know why it's dancing, but then I can go up to F2, and then I can just uncheck it. Maybe. I can uncheck it, and then I can only see the blue one. Oh. And sometimes that's helpful when you're going to analyze the graph, because when it's going to ask you like what your boundaries are, sometimes it also asks you which graph. If there's only one, it's not asking you which graph. Okay. Anybody having issues with that? Do what? You haven't even done it yet? Is what you're saying? Okay. Are we all good? Okay. So we are looking for two spots, right? Which are like right here and right here, basically. But I want to figure out what those numbers are. How can I do that? I want to calculate something. Where can I find anything I want to do here? What button should I hit first? If I want to calculate something on this graph, if I wanted to find me something, what would I choose? Where's on my list of stuff going to be? Menu. There you go. Set that in here. And then, so what are we trying to do here? Well, we could look at a table. The problem with the table, and that is a good answer. The problem with the table is my table, the change in the numbers may not be exactly what I want. If it was like whole numbers, maybe I'd look at a table, but I don't know that I'll be able to see the zero that I want. But this is a possibility. But I want to analyze the graph, right? This is where all my magic happens. What are we're looking for a 0. Okay? So now you have this dotted line. You can use this right here as a little mouse to like move it back and forth. The mouse doesn't work well for me on the board. So if I was using a calculator, I'd be using this right here to do the mouse thing. But because I'm up here, I'm going to just move it over. Ooh, sheets and ladders. See? And then I do stupid things like this. Okay, whatever. My graph might look a little bit different than yours now. But so I clicked here. Okay, if yours still says lower bound, then whenever you get it where you want it, just click the middle. Then when it says upper bound, you're going to move the dotted line to where it's on the other side of the 0, and then it'll find it for you. And you have to hit 8. Because I'm touching it, it's taking it as me entering it. So you move with this thing. Once you get the dotted line right to the left of it, you click. Then you move with that thing, then you click. Yeah. But because I'm on the board, it's weirder. Yeah. I can't model it for you. Those of you that have gotten this far, did you get 3 decimal places? I thought we changed this. I thought I did all this stuff with y'all, but maybe we didn't. You have 6 decimal places? Okay, so let's all go through these motions here, because I don't know why mine reset. Even when you clear the calculator, it shouldn't reset completely. So if we have this, let's all do this. Menu, and then settings for 9. You won't have to do this every time. Yeah, I have it at float 4, your display digits. Float 6. I wouldn't do 3. 4 is okay. 5 or 6 is really better. Let's do 5. That's less numbers. I think I might have had y'all do 6 at the beginning. That's why some of y'all have 6. Now, you might have something else up here. If you have something down here that says set as default, you need to click that. Because depending on what version of the operating system is your calculator, you may have that. I don't have that. Make default. Yes, is that what it says? Yes, click that. And so if it didn't stay, that might be because I don't know that I told you to do that because it looks different. And then you can click OK. No, it's fine. Whatever else is fine. It's not going to affect what we're doing. Didn't I choose 5 and it gave me 4? Look, smart Alec. It's not significant figures. There must be a 0 after it. It's fine. Because we really have to be correct to 3, right? So the smart thing to do is write down like 4. We don't actually need the 5th one, so it's fine. All right, so we got that one. Now before we write down anything, we can get the other one. So does everybody have that number now? We all got there? Okay. So now we're going to do it again. Menu, 6 for analyze graph, 1 for the 0, because it happens again. Now, where my line is right now, I don't know where yours is. But as long as it's between these 2 points, I don't necessarily have to move it. I can just say, because see how it says lower bound? That means on the x-axis, in the domain, that's the lower bound. That's fine. It's to the left of it. I can hit enter. Now it says upper bound. Now's when I would move it. But again, I can't move on this board because it's touchscreen. I would move it with the little mouse thing and then click on the other side of it, and it'll give me the other 0. Okay. We all good with that? Then your bounds were weird. Do any of y'all have 5 digits? But you have 5? Did you put it float 6? You put 5? Okay. I don't know. Can't. Okay, it's fine. All right, so we have our 2 numbers here, right? So we can go back over here, and it says find any values. So okay, I can say the bug is at rest at t equals 1.2247 and t equals 1.8012. Oh, and then do we have units? We don't, which I find strange. But if we did, we'd have to make sure we put it as seconds, but they didn't give them to us, so it's fine. All right, now I want to find the open interval or intervals when the particle is moving to the right. If it is moving to the right, then what is true about, how do we know? Like, what tells us if we're moving right or left? Velocity. So what has to be true about velocity if we are moving to the right? Has to be positive. Do we know when this function is positive? Yes, because this is the velocity function. That's one thing you want to remind yourself. The graph you're looking at, either here or on the calculator, is the graph of the velocity function. This is where it is positive, right? And now we know the beginning and the ends of that interval, right? So like we don't have to go and do anything else. We can say the particle is moving to the right, or not the particle, it's the bug this time, right? The bug is moving right on the interval from 1.2247 to 1.8012. Okay. So now we want to find the acceleration of the bug when v of t equals -1. So let's think about what we need. We need to first know when the velocity is -1, right? And if I can find when the velocity is -1, let's say it's at 5 seconds. If the velocity is -1 at 5 seconds, then I can take 5 seconds, substitute it into the acceleration function, right? So we have a few things to do. The first thing to do is figure out what time the velocity is -1. So let's go back to our graph. And how would I know, what could I do on here to be able to figure out where -1 is? I know this is 0 and -4.26 or whatever. So basically it's saying when is y -1, right? If I want the x value, I can figure it out by using like what makes sense just by plugging it in or whatever. But if I want to know where the y value is, I'm going to add another function. So we're going to hit tab. We're going to hit tab. Oh, it's because we're going to hit tab again. Okay. So here, basically I want y to equal negative 1. Oh, that's a 4. Jesus. All right. And then, boom. Okay. So now I know where I can point to it. What do you think I can do to figure out what that x value is right there? Intersection. Very good. Menu, analyze graph. So anytime, just hit a menu, see what happens. Oh, I'm trying to analyze the graph. What do I want? Oh, I want the intersection. See, it's pretty easy to figure out. So it says lower bound. Well, I'm not really in the right spot right here. I need to be on the left-hand side of where they actually intersect. So I'm going to, and I don't care about the zeros. I'm looking right here where that intersection is. So I'm going to click over here. You're going to have to move and then click. And then it says upper bound. So now I need to be on the right-hand side of it. So I'm going to click over here. And it gives me the intersection. Okay, so this is something that's kind of difficult for me to model up here because the board acts differently than your calculator does, and it doesn't. If I try and actually slide along here or do this, it moves everything. So I don't think I can. I've tried and it just doesn't. It doesn't work right. Yeah. So what you want to do is you want to use your little mousey thing over here. Okay, you're going to move your little cursor until you can get a hand over. I don't know if I can do it. It's irritating because I can't move your cursor. Oh, there we go. Okay. So do you see how you have a hand that looks like this? Okay. So then we want the hand to go like this. And for the hand to go like this, we're going to, or maybe I don't need, let's see. Variable. Nope. Don't want that, sorry. Escape out of that. Got to get my hand back up there. There we go. And then if you hit, oh, can't do it up here. Okay. Let me do it on here so I can describe to you what to do. This will even turn on. There we go. Have any of you got it to grab? Okay. Yours is grabbing? Okay. So if it's grabbing, then I want you to hit control variable. You see right above variable where it says STO? You're going to store it. So control and okay. See what happens right there? Did that happen to you? Get a hand. Oh, no, don't. You want to click so that the hand grabs it? Oh, why can't I?
Okay. Is it variable? Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
Okay. Tell me, because. You want it in there, but not highlighted.
No, it has to be highlighted, but not in there.
I know. And there's a way to make the hand grab it. It just lets you move it. Okay. So we don't want the hand. You just click. Oh, just click on it. Just barely tap it. Don't get the hand. Sorry. I'm used to doing it up here. Okay. So here's what I did. You don't want it flashing in there like you're actually. You just get your cursor close to it and just tap without a hand. Yeah, no. Get rid of the hand. Control variable. There we go. Did we get that? Okay, escape. if you get an arrow, escape. There you go. Now just click. There we go. My bad. Bad instructions. Yeah, well, just where it says that. Is everybody here? Okay, do control store. Okay. Now that it has this, we can name it whatever we want. Let's name it T because that's what we're doing, right? It's a T. So just hit your T right there. What the heck? No! Y'all. Jesus Christ. I don't know how to get rid of this thing. Did y'all do that too? You got T equals? But mine did this? Okay, I don't know how to get rid of that. Good Lord, this is just a total poop show right now. Now it does it right. I don't know how the heck I got that. I swear I hit T, whatever. Y'all got T in there now? I don't know how I got that, and I don't know how to get rid of it. Escape. Okay, now just click nicely. Once, there you go. And then control store. There you go. I think you might have clicked twice, or you might have had a hand on there like I told you to. Okay. I don't get that. I don't know what I did. I swear all I did was type a T and that popped up, and I don't know how to get rid of it. I don't know why it's there, okay? And then enter. Whew, good Lord. So yeah, ignore this thing over here. I would get rid of it if I knew how. I hope nobody watches this video ever. What? Yes, I'm recording. It's a table, but again, I don't know how I got it there, but whatever. I might have done Control T and not hit variable. I don't know. But do we have this bolded now? Don't worry, we're spending all week on this stuff. Well, yeah. I mean, just so we can go slow. Don't you think we need some more calculator practice? Clearly I do. Okay. Are we all good? We're good? Okay. Hit enter. There you go. So if it's bolded, that means you saved it as something. That lets you know it's saved. Okay? Do we all have it saved now? Okay. Good God. All right. So now we're going to go, and since we have that, that's the time. Let's refresh our memories what the heck we're doing. This is the time in which the time where the velocity is at -1. Now I want to know what the acceleration is. So I'm going to take that stored value and find the acceleration, right? Where's my acceleration function in? What's it in? It's in F2. So I'm going to do control. I'm going to go back over here. And once again, I want F2 of, what do I want F2 of? No. T, my stored value, which was T, or whatever you want to call it. And there you go. Whew. That's rough, right? Okay. It says value undefined. Did you not call it T? Did you hit enter after you named it T? Go back to your graph. Are you bolded?
It was.
It was, and now it's not. So go back. So then just do this. When you're here, do T and enter, just so that you can see if that's what you got. Because did you grab one of mine, or is that yours? It's one of mine, because I think those settings aren't right. I haven't had a chance to fix all the settings. Because I think there's a way I can do it like all at once in a batch. I just haven't figured that out yet. All right. Yay, okay. You got -28? Oh, yeah. No, that's because I just did T. Like if you're questioning, did I store it or not, you can just hit that and you can see what it is so it matches up. Okay? All right. So let's go back and answer this question. It says find the acceleration of the bug. So we can say the acceleration of the bug when b of t equals -1 is a prime, or a of t, which equals, what was it, -28? -28.8738. Oh yeah, 8742. Well, I don't know what happened on the other paper, but 8742. All right. Are we good? Sort of. We need calculator practice, right? Sorry about the whole hand thing. That is where you just move it, and I haven't stored something in a while. I should have practiced first. And it's different up here than it is on there anyway, so I couldn't even figure it out. All right. We're going to have more we're going to do a few more calculator ones where y'all can type them in on yourself and, you know, get with it. It's fine. Okay? We're not going to rush through this. This is a big part of the test, so we're going to make sure we all get it. Okay? We good? What questions you got? All right.